got rejected from Wildin' Out. They said you weren't funny.
Nick was like, she's funny. She's going to be a star. Shout out to Nick Cannon. He fought for me to be on that show.
DaBaby fired you.
Every day, like, I'd be like, thank you so much for firing me.
You got employees now. Do you feel some type of pressure at your age to keep hitting the mark?
Artists is not always booked. You're not booked Monday through Sunday. It's moments where I'm like, look, we got to figure it out. Faith is one of my biggest things in this season. I can't let that go.
Yeah.
Because that means I'm letting God go, and I ain't going to do that.
What's been your biggest high of the show and your biggest low?
On Wildin' Out.
Yeah.
I'm going to be so honest.
Welcome to Vault Empowers Talk. So we don't just scratch the surface. We dive deep into the lives of some of the world's most influential change makers. I'm your host, Brandy Harvey. But before I introduce my amazing guest of the day, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss your daily dose of inspiration and motivation. But without further ado, I get to introduce this amazing talent across from me, PrettyVee. She is an accomplished comedian, media host, dancer, rapper, and social media personality. Beginning her career in 2016, PrettyVee rose to fame on Instagram and has amassed over 6.4 million Instagram followers by creating real-life comedic characters everyone can relate to. For over 9 seasons, PrettyVee has stretched her comedic ability as a regular cast member on Nick Cannon's Wildin' Out, making a name for herself as a bona fide actress. PrettyVee can be seen in American Gangster Presents, Big 50, The Delronda Hood Story, Hollywood Heist, and the hit HBO Max series Rap Shit. As the CEO of PrettyVee Productions, the founder of Pretty Victory, PrettyVee uses her platform to help the young adults understand the importance of self-esteem and mental health. With partnerships with City Trends, Fenty Beauty, Revolt, and Bel Air, PrettyVee uses her platform to inspire the next generation of creators. She has been featured in Essence Magazine, Forbes, and Black Enterprise, just to name a few. PrettyVee believes there is a process before the promise. Vault Empowers Talks welcome comedian, entrepreneur, actress, producer, and all-purpose entertainer, PrettyVee, to the show.
Oh, wow. You better come on, intro. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, sis. Hello.
I didn't know if it was going to be like, I was getting PrettyVee, I was getting, your real name is Davana?
It's Davana.
Davana Excel. I ain't never met nobody with the last name Excel.
Come on.
You are the first.
The first.
Listen,
yes.
So it is a pleasure for you to join me today.
Yes.
2016, you go viral. You go viral. What were you thinking when you were going viral?
I was working my 9 to 5. My best friend, my cousin was like, you need to get on Instagram. So many people are making it on Instagram. They're getting viral. They're getting famous. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it. Like, what I'm going to do? So I was at my best friend's house, Anika, and she said, get up and just, fight yourself in the street. Do something crazy. Do something fun. And I'm like, all right, you going to do it with me? You going to record?
Fight yourself in the street was the first thing?
That's the first thing. That's what came to her mind. I said, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm in the street rolling around. Let my hair go. Get off me. And then she was playing like she was a girl. Get off me. So it was such a moment because on Instagram, no one was doing anything like that, And then after that, like maybe 2 weeks later, it was when the Pokemon was getting their traction back. I don't know. It was random. Like we just kept seeing Pokemons all over the place. So they had me fighting the Pokemon that year. It was so weird. They captured me in the ball. So that was like double viral for me. So it was that year, but I was still broke, still working my 9 to 5, still at Fairfield Marriott, still working at South Coast Music Group, being Honors Taylor assistant. But then he had an artist at the time, Baby Jesus, now DaBaby, that I was doing admin work for. So I was just still hustling, trying to figure it all out. Yeah.
DaBaby fired you. He said you were spending too much time on your comedy. You was watching videos and stuff. And so he said, you should go do that.
Yeah. Well, Arnold told me to go do that. And DaBaby, I called DaBaby, John, and I said, well, I'm gone, and he was just like, go do that. Go be funny. Go and soar high and go chase that, because you're destined. Yeah. So I think every day, like, I'd be like, Arnold, thank you so much for firing me. Because I was not trying to sit at that desk no more. Because I knew it was just something special, you know?
You build characters. And so this is like, the interesting thing about you when I was researching you and you coming on the show, I don't put you in the box of a comedian because I think you're very layered with how you build out your characters. And so you recently said that, you don't want to do stand-up. You want to do a one-woman show.
Yeah.
And so talk about the process behind coming up with some of these characters.
I'm gonna be so honest with you, sis. It's all in the mind for me. Like
That mind's deep.
Yeah, the mind is so deep, but the mind can be scary too, because our gift, you got to know what that gift looks like. Sometimes the gift could get you down into a mental home, or that gift sometimes to get you on stage and making millions and having God and knowing that He gave you this gift. So how do you balance this gift?
Yeah.
Some people don't know how to do it. I love Robin Williams, but I know that through his mind, characters, depression, anxiety, or no one to understand what he was going through, and it got too late.
Yeah.
But for me, I grew up in Miami, so I seen a Jamaican aunt, I seen, a single mother, I seen ghetto girls in the street that I want to be friends with, like, let me be your best friend, I seen all of that. So right now in my mind that I'm creating that within my own self. And I am Sharon, that Jamaican, auntie, which is my aunt. I am Peanut's mom, which is my mom. I am those girls that I wanted to be cool with. So I'm making those things up as I go in my mind, where it can be in a point where I'm like, does that make sense? Should I do this? But my mind that's why it's a battlefield. The mind is a battlefield. It's either going to play with you and the enemy going to win, or you're going to use what God gave you to soar high. And in this very moment, I'm using the tool that God gave me, and all those characters that you see and more that is in me is showing and will show sooner than later, because every day He gives me a new idea. Yeah. Every day. But it starts in my mind, though. That's how I create. That's how I create, in my mind.
Yeah. Most people would be surprised to know that, when you ask the inspirations and the people who inspire you, the first people that you riddle off are not Black actors and comedians, Jim Carrey, Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
And so talk about why those are kind of those people that kind of shape your comedic lane.
They're not the only ones who shape my comedic lane, because I love Martin.
Yeah.
I
saw you on your Insta story watching him last night.
Yeah, I love Martin. And I said on my story that I study him as well.
Yeah.
But it's something with the physical to me, when it comes, because Tommy Davidson has a physical comedic space to his, as well too, and Martin, know. But it's something about what draw me to Jim Carrey. It was just, he just did so much characters. He just had a goofy, daring, witty moment about him. And I was like, that's me, and I love that. And even Melissa McCarthy. And I'm like, whoa, like, she's just a voluptuous woman and she just doesn't care.
Yeah.
And I felt like me being little and skinny and just don't care who talks about my shape or body. Yeah. I'm like, she loves herself. Why not, embrace that with myself? So I'm just taking from places, not just, I'm not saying my Black people are not funny. They are. Yeah. I love Martin. I love Tommy Davidson. I love the Wayans. I love them. I just think they're so dope to me. But it's something about that Jim Carrey that was just like, oh, no, you are crazy, but I love it because that's me, yeah.
But I think it's about not putting a cap on the creativity.
Yeah.
That there are so many things that can inspire us. There are so many people.
For sure.
So many places that we go to that can really tap into that part of our mind.
And it's relatable too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at Jim Carrey and I'm like, wow, and it's something deep in that man.
Yeah.
He wasn't just making y'all laugh all day. He was really telling us, like, it's something else that's special in me, and maybe I got to go paint to figure it out. Maybe I got to go here and be in solitude. But he had something that was special. And every day I'd be like, wow, this man had to put on so many faces and he probably was hurting deep down. Yeah. But I love that he just showed up to be the artist that he was called to be. And I just love him. I just think he's just so fire.
Well, recently, PrettyVee, you laid your Woody to rest. Okay?
Come on, Woody.
You did. And so I had to ask you, like, what is it in your mind that makes you put this wooden table in your kitchen?
Look, come on.
And hop up on it and start
all of that. Yes.
And start dancing. What is it?
My mama gave me that table.
Okay.
Sis, my mom gave me that table. She said, use this table. And I was like, okay, Mom. from then, like 2020, I think, when it was COVID,
Yeah.
I found a little table in my other room and I said, let me just dance on this. I just hopped on it. I was like, look, they can't see my legs when I'm doing it, propping the camera up in my kitchen.
Yeah.
So I need a little booster seat. And the table was a booster for me.
Wow.
Yeah, and just became something. Yeah, it became dope. And then from there, the table broke. It was on 3 legs. I was putting my suitcase underneath the table.
You put the suitcase underneath the table.
And it was just rattling.
Yeah.
It was just rattling. And then I was like, I can't keep doing this. The table's about to break. You know, it's outside of my house. So when the rain falls, it's getting snowed on, rained on, everything. So recently my mama said, we gonna get you a new table.
Yeah.
So the table was sent to my house.
Yeah.
And now I got a brand new Woody cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woody has a cousin.
Walisha.
Walisha. I mean, you be cutting up on that table, child.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what possesses you. Get on a leotard, you put on a yellow suit.
Everything.
You put on all these different things when you are performing. But your mother is the one who really prophesies.
Yeah.
She prophesied over you and said, you're going to be in the arts.
Yeah.
And you didn't really know what that meant. You thought, okay, well, I'm doing radio. I got a radio show.
Yeah.
I got all these other things. And did you see this part of it?
I didn't see this part. I seen some, but I didn't see all. I think God is my mom spoke about a couple of Sundays ago at church. She said, God is in the detail business. He's going to give you everything in detail. We just don't know. We just got to walk.
Yeah.
The journey that I'm on right now, I'm just walking to it. But I know what he said. And I also know when I'm writing in my book, what's on that book is going to come to pass.
Yeah.
And what my mom already prophesied over to me when I was in middle school, I didn't know what that was. I was like, when she said arts, I'm like, is it painting?
Yeah.
Is it what I'm already at? But God has that final say so. He's going to continue to keep leading you, but if you got to be willing and able to do it. Because sometimes you get prophesied over your life all day, but you got to put the work in.
Yeah.
You can't it's not just going to fall. You know, the phone calls come, but are you going to be active in your faith to go get it? Yeah. So for me, my faith was already planted and I was already activated from young until now. This right here in front of you, because I too, let's go back. I'm honored to be sitting here. You know, your bloodline is a legendary bloodline. So for you to take the time to say, hey, I want this young lady on my show, this is an honor. Yeah. So I didn't see this. I didn't see wilding out. I didn't see me shaking hands with people. I seen that I'm going to be called to do something great, but I didn't see the people that I was going to have behind me, in front of me, beside me, and my extensions. So my mom, every time she speaks life into me, she's always on point. But it's for us to go get it, you know, because the disobedient comes when you're not doing it, you know, and you're doing something wrong. I'm not an angel. I fell short. I've went off different pit stops. I went off different exits, but I've always kept in the back of my mind what my mom said I was going to do. And what the prophecies I've got over my life outside of my mom, it's all in alignment. Yeah. So to answer your question, I didn't see it. I just knew I was going to shake hands and I was going to be in on stage because it's my playground, but I didn't know the process he's getting me through and the promise that is ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, the entertainment space can be a very dark place.
It can be.
Yeah.
For sure.
So how are you able to renew your faith constantly and renew your mind in a place that can be very dark? Because you said in previous conversations that you struggle with depression, anxiety before. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, so how do you keep renewing that faith, renewing your mind every single day?
Remembering what my mother said, that God said that you're going to be in the arts and that you're going to be okay. She called us on the phone one time on FaceTime. She said, I got words to give to 3 of my kids. She gave my sister her word, she gave my brother his word, and she gave me my word. Because I'm like, Mom, what God said? What he said about me? You heard what he said. And she said, Vita, he said you're going to be okay, but not in a playful way. He said, you're going to be fine. And I see that in my book, that God said you're going to be okay. And I always take that and I run with that because I'm going to be okay. Yeah. Depression is temporary. Anxiety is temporary. Nervousness is temporary. I'm not none of that. You go through those seasons, you get out of it when you know, like, what am I doing? God said something. He spoke to me. Yeah. He's not finished with me. Yeah. My assignment is greater. So I remember what my mom said. And I remember, like I said, the other pastors and preachers that spoke into me that were so alignment that I keep that and I know that. And when I look at my home and I'm sitting here and I'm like, wow. See, God would do the foolish thing to confound the wise people don't even know, like, this girl's so young, owning a home and just playing around at home, got Woody on the kitchen, playing dress-up doll babies. They just don't understand that God will give you the responsibility, but what do you do with it?
Yeah.
And I've been keeping it, and I've been saying his name in every room, and I've told him, you do this, you continue to keep doing, I will say your name. Even if I don't understand what you're doing, I'm going to continue to trust you. So I just remember those words that my mom said, and she said, you're going to be all right, you know, and God said you're going to be here, and your assignment is not finished. Keep going. That's what keeps me going.
Yeah.
And the look of her, to know my mom is so powerful, not only in the spirit, but her strength, what keeps me going, knowing that I'm not just doing it for me, I'm doing it for her. And you about to make me cry. So yes, I do it. I do it for my mom. I do it for my mom. I do it for my friends. Like you just seen my makeup artist before we started. When the look of her face to say that you inspire me, and I keep saying I'm inspired by her because she keeps going.
Yeah.
That keeps my faith because her faith is active.
Yeah.
That's why you have to have friends around you that is going to activate your faith when you get low. You know, if they don't do that, we need to go find some new friends. But my friends are just always like, I'm inspired. And I'm always saying, I'm inspired by y'all because y'all keep going, you know? So I keep it like that because I see the energy around me, the community around me. And I'm like, I got to keep going. And when I see the little DMs in my message saying, you helped me through depression, I'm like, oh God, I'm doing something. You know, the messages I put on my page to motivate people, you doing something. Yeah. So with that, my faith, it keeps going, you know? Yeah.
Do you feel some pressure? Because I feel like you hit these highs. Everybody has these moments where they hit the highs, and the elevator keeps going up. Do you feel some pressure? You know, because people are counting on you, because people are now depending on you. Yeah. You got employees now. Yeah. There are families that depend on you. So do you feel some type of pressure at your age to keep hitting the mark or moving the goalpost?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I do, you know, and especially when you have a mom just wants to know everything, because she's my mother, but she's also my momager too. You know, she does my finances and she makes sure everything is in line, because that's the only person I'm going to trust with my finances. And when she says, well, you know, we got to do this, and you know, we got to make sure this is, you know, we got to get to this mark. And it's like, okay, because people have to understand, artists is not always booked. You're not booked Monday through Sunday. Sometimes you may book Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You come on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you chilling. But that's when those brand ambassadorships come. That's when those opportunities come that keeps you going, in percentages of stores. And I thank God he has me. But it's moments where I'm like, look, we got to figure it out too. We got to make sure this is aligned. We're not just using money just to use it. So when my mom tells me this has to be done, you know, we got to pay for this, it's like, okay, I got to keep going. You know, I got to do this. But not knowing, you got to sit back and say, well, God said what he said. He got you. Yeah. You know, so it is pressure, you know, when you got to make sure your team is involved with you. You know, they got to make sure they fly out, and you got to make sure that you feed them. And it's like, you can't get them people Burger King because they don't eat that. They vegans now. So now you're acting grand. Whatever happened to Chick-fil-A? I can't eat Chick-fil-A on the road. So, you know, we got, and I treat my team good. So whatever I eat, they eat, you know. So if I'm over here at a restaurant, they know they're going to be taken care of. But it's a pressure when you know you got to continue to keep this going. And everybody had their season. It could be high, lows, in between, you know? So, yeah.
The highs, the lows, the in between. Mm-hmm. You got rejected from Wildin' Out.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. You got rejected. They said you weren't funny.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. You was up in there lying, telling people you was Nick Cannon cousin. Mm-hmm. You was up in there telling people I'm Chico cousin. I'm somebody. And it did not work.
Yeah, it did not work.
Listen.
It did not work. They said, no, ma'am. You do not look like DC little cousin. And Chico Bean is not your uncle, you know? So I did all of that to get to New York. I was broke. My friend at the time said, hey, tell them that you so-and-so cousin. It's going to get you in. It got me in. But when God give it to you, he's an honest God, okay?
You ain't got to be lying.
You know, you got to lie when to get on this show. Right. Yeah. So I did all that. I went to the audition. They was like, okay, we know her. We know there was, you know, whoop, whoop, whoop. And then I didn't get a call back, but B. Simone did. Just Hilarious did. Everybody else did that came with me and that I went with, and not me. But it was okay because that means I had work to do. Yeah. I had to get myself together. My confidence had to come on in. You know, I had to get more skits on in. I had to show people that I am that girl. Yeah. You know, and back in 2018, that's when they called me back, and I didn't have to audition. I got on there. Niall, at the time, was like, oh, she's not funny, Nick. You know? Yeah. Nick was like, she's funny. She's going to be a star. shout out to Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
You know, he fought for me for that to be on that show. You know, he was like, this girl's a star. Trust me, believe this girl's gonna make it. And lo and behold, I got a call back 2018. I've been on the show for 9 seasons now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's been your biggest high of the show and your biggest low?
On Wild 'N Out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so honest. I didn't feel like my confidence showed until maybe we have a season that's dropping, I think in July of this year, maybe like 3 seasons ago. And I've been on it for 9 seasons.
Yeah.
Because I found that rim, like you got DC Young Fly, you know, you got Chico Bean, you got Carlos, you got Justina Valentine, you got B Simone.
Yeah.
Just hilarious. These girls and these men have been on the show before me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is that lane? And DC used to always say, kill that shit, bro. Do that shit, bro. Do your thing, bro. Like, show you. But I'm like, how do I do it? You know? And they used to always say, you got to learn how to take it from the phone to the stage. But that wasn't my issue. It's about how do I give them Peanut Mom? How do I show them Sharon? How do I show them these characters that I have? And no one's doing it. And I don't want to like be awkward. And I found that formula and I killed, you know, and that's when I got, what is he, what I get like that? Hey, so like all of that started happening. And I'm like, okay, I could do this gibberish rapping thing. They get it. So I started feeling myself in that space to know like, you're a star, use that. And Nick used to always say, before we get into prayer, before the show, you can't do no wrong. You're a star. Keep going. And that's when, you know, I started showing up like me. But it really took season 7, 8, and 9 to do it. Yeah. You know, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was not it. I was not confident at all.
Yeah. Yeah. What were you telling yourself every day? Because in order to get yourself in that mindset, you got to be repeating something. You got to be saying something to yourself to motivate yourself to get back in the fight when other people look like they're winning and you're not.
I'm blessed, I'm healed, I'm set free, and I'm beautiful, and I'm called to do this. This is my purpose. Yeah. And I remember again, you're going to be in the arts. Yeah. You know, and that's it. And I ran with it. And I'm looking around, and I'm seeing Nick Cannon. Yeah. Someone we watched on All That, Nickelodeon. You know, I'm looking at Kevin Hart pull up just to be I'm looking at, so I'm like, whoa, I'm in the presence of these legends. I'm called to be here. Yeah. Show up. Even if you mess up, just show up. If you fail, show up. And that's what I've been doing for the last 9 seasons. And I felt like I showed up, but I wasn't confident in those first 5 for the first 6. And then that 7, 8, 9th came. I'm like, all right, I get it. I got it now. Yeah. And for someone like Nick to keep calling me back each season, it's something special they see. Yeah. Yeah.
Talk about the unseen hours, because most people look at you and they say 6.5 million Instagram followers, and all that. She done been viral, and I'm gonna go viral too, and I'm gonna be on Wild 'N Out standing next to her. I'm coming for your spot. Look, you know, all the things. Yeah. But I want you to talk about the unseen hours, because there's a lot of work that goes into that phone. Okay. It's a lot of work that goes into it. So I want you to talk about the unseen hours, the things that people don't see. Because even when we were in pre-production, my team was like, no, they be doing like full-on productions for these skits, Brandy. They be doing full on, you know, everything for these skits. So talk about the unseen hours.
It's actually levels to sketches and skits and all that. iPhone, that's all I do, right? But when I just did a video recently with Case for Valentine's Day. And
the singer Case?
Yeah. We did a "You Can Be Strong to Get" that song, right? So I was like, Case, I need you, you know. So we did that, but that took a production. That wasn't on the iPhone. I needed to pull up with my team to make sure he know, like, I'm serious about this. Desi now he does an iPhone, but his behind been doing these skits that looks like it's a whole production, which it may have been, but I think it's off of iPhone. B Simone now has a podcast show, so she's doing a podcast show off her team. But when we did a video recently, we did our iPhone. So for me, I like to stay raw, uncut, and authentic. So I don't need the whole big bag of team unless it's a partnership, unless it's something with Bel Air, you know, unless it's something with it, I need that full team. But honey, it goes on this iPhone 13, 14, 15, whatever you want to do. Maybe it could be a 10 if you got it. But it goes down. Like, I don't think it's needed. Once you know the formula of things and trying to do too much, it shows in your craft too. Like it's trying too hard. Like what happened to the dusty background, or like what happened to, this. So I try to keep it authentic, but I spoke about this recently. Sometimes it's time and a place, and it's a balance. We do need to get out of that iPhone and get to them cameras. It depends on what partnership or what, brand you got to promote. Yeah. You can't do everything on iPhone. You're going to have to buy that team and get it done. So it's 1, 2, 3. It's either a phone or a camera, whichever one. Yeah. But hard work's good. We do them skits like 5, 10 times. Because we be like, that was funny. Go back to the first one. No, let's do one more. Then we do one more, then it gets 3. Then we do one more, it gets a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the first one was it. I don't know why we keep trying. Yeah. So that's the process. But it's
Are you practicing these before y'all are getting up there?
Oh no.
So y'all are not practicing.
We're not doing that. We just
it's
really
improv. Yeah.
I'm calling this like this. I got a skit. It could be like right now, and I leave and go, and then he's like, "What you got?" And then we'll just do it right there. Be Simone. We're in the car talking about Brittany Ash. We got this white girl character.
Brittany Ash. I saw that. So it's like on her podcast. That you all did that.
Right. Yeah. So we're in the car like, okay, bitch, so what are you doing? Like we'll get into that, and it's like, let's post it. Yeah. So it's really no planning. It's just like, let's just call each other and just do it.
That is insane to me. I would lose my mind. Yeah. First of all, look. I am baby.
Look.
No. Look. They know I prep so much, right? I read, I prep. I could not get up here if they said, okay, we got V coming in today, and
I think you could do it.
I could.
Yeah,
right?
I
totally could. But I don't know that I would get what needed to be, what I felt needed to be gotten out of it.
Girl. You gonna get it done.
They're gonna say, "Oh, next week she's showing up with no notes." Let's see how this goes.
All you need to see is the artists, what they do. Go on their page a little bit, and then you'll ask the questions. Because this right now is a conversation,
right?
So we just having. Who are you? That's how you start off. You don't know nobody. Who you is? Then they'll get into it. Like
they'll get into it. Yeah. Okay, so since we're getting into it, you talked about your brand partnerships. You mentioned Bel Air, but you did something pretty phenomenal with City Trends.
Yes,
you did something really phenomenal with City Trends. You were the first brand ambassador to really bring them online. They were a brick and mortar only. Yeah. Right?
Brought them online. Yeah. With the help of my team at the time. And that was during COVID, we brought them online. Yeah. COVID. Things were not happening in COVID for a lot of us. Things were slow. Things were on a pause. It was a standstill. But I was so adamant on making money in COVID. I was like, y'all got to wake up. We got to figure it out. People were buying things online during COVID. Yeah. They were Amazon, this, that. So I was like, hey, they could, purchase my merch and everything on City Trends, PrettyVee.com. That was linked to City Trends. And I was the first one to actually be a brand ambassador, but also have my own percentage in all 600 plus stores. So whenever y'all buying, I'm getting, So I was doing that for about 2-3 years. And now we're actually revamping that as well. We're revamping that, and we got some things coming with City Trends. But that was going down during COVID, the online process. But in store, of course, it was shut down. Yeah. Got my perfume line through them. It was a great experience.
Wow. Yeah. That is awesome, because I don't think that people understand the layers of you, right? And how deep you really go as far as your business ventures, but also as an actress. Yes. Because I have to tell you, one of my favorite characters of you is Deja on Rap Shit. I love Rap Shit from the beginning. Seduce and scheme, seduce and scheme. Okay, so listen, I was a fan. Okay, so I love the show. I know that the show is not getting picked back up, but I would love for you to talk about your experience, because you've stepped foot on a number of productions. That really show your range.
Rap Shit was a blessing from God. Charlamagne called me. I thought it was like a game show. Like, I didn't know it was like, I didn't know anything about the show. I was like, when he called me, he's like, you should do this show called Rap Shit. I'm like, okay, how many days they need me? Like, just going into like that. He was like, nah, I'm gonna hit Issa up for you. I think you should be on the part of that show. Yeah. Lo and behold, I was on a set a while and Issa Rae called me personally. It was like, we have a role and it's Deja, and you need to, know that this is comedic, but it's drama, it's ranges, it's this.
Yeah.
So I was so grateful for that call, you know, and Issa is a gem from heaven. She's just awesome. And then we kept in touch, and I reached out for sure to the team and told her, you know, wherever you go, I'm gonna go, you know, because that platform allow people to see my range comedically, but also in a form of drama, dramatic, you know, sturdiness, powerful, you know. And Deja wasn't with the shits. Deja was like, y'all was getting line right.
Yes,
you know, so it was that moment. So Issa actually stamped that, and Charlamagne as well. God, you know, did it all, but used those two vessels to give me the opportunity to show that, because I had no clue what I was walking into. So yeah. And
I mean, you solidified it because you nailed it. I loved you on the show.
Yes.
I really was like, oh, she's a bona fide actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, Lord, come on.
I see you more as an actress than I do a comedian. I really do. I see you more as an actress and I think that plays into your characters.
Yeah.
You know, the Sharon, the Peanut. The other day you then got at the jail for fighting. Child, I said, well, what is this? Listen, what is happening?
All of that in that mind.
Who let you record this in their jail? What jail? Sure. I know it was in Atlanta, because only Atlanta will let you do something like that.
Come on. Use it for 5 minutes and come on out. That's it.
So yeah, I really see you, you know, as an actress, and that role I feel like was, I mean, you played it perfectly. You were so good in it.
And that's the goal, though, Brandy. That's the goal, to be that. And I've always said I want to work towards getting those big roles and work towards being just being a great actress, you know, showing that talent, you know, because there's so many of us out there that's doing it. You know, you got the Tarajis, you got the Zendayas, you got so many great, Monique, you got Viola Davis, you got so many great people. And I'm like, I cannot wait to shake hands, you know, and be right there, because I know it's in me. And that's why I do these self-tapes every other day, to get that muscle moving, you know, and being on these shows like you know, so I could get out there, even if it's 4-5 lines, even if it's one day of work, at least I'm working that tool and that muscle, because that's the goal eventually. Yeah.
I love that, because I think that oftentimes we kind of peg people like, oh, if they not on the phone, they not working, or if she's not doing a skit, she's not really honing in and perfecting her craft. But in order to stay at the top of your game, you got to constantly be fueling and fanning the fire.
And that's a fact, because it's bigger than Instagram.
Yeah.
That app go away tomorrow. What y'all got going on? What show y'all coming to? You know?
Y'all stuck. Some of y'all stuck off that Instagram,
It's so much bigger. What Instagram is a resume. To all the creators out there, influencers, actors, actresses, entrepreneurs, it is bigger than Instagram.
Yeah.
You know, it's a resume. You know, you seen my work. You said, team, let's get it. We want her. You know, so, but the back end in this season, it's just like, you got to keep going and soar higher than where you're at, because you'll get comfortable, you'll get complacent. You're like, this app going to be here forever. TikTok happening, Snapchat happening. But everything gets shut down. MySpace was just lit. 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 13 years ago.
They don't even know, PrettyVee. Listen, Shorty Low was getting MySpace awards when he was alive and away.
Come on.
They know.
Come on.
Listen. And now y'all don't know about MySpace.
About MySpace.
Listen.
Yeah, Facebook was lit. LinkedIn. Remember LinkedIn?
They still popping. Don't do that now.
Well,
they still popping.
LinkedIn.
I just had to put in an application for so they said, what's your LinkedIn? I said, well, I don't never go on there, but here y'all go. Y'all go take a look at it and see what you can find.
For sure. Yeah. But all these things, it shows you that there's seasons for these things.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, nah, I'm trying to go above and beyond. I'm in this season, lines need to be wrapped outside to see me.
Yeah.
You know, so you ain't got to go through the IG as much. As long as only thing you got to go see is what she's doing. Where's the skit at? Okay, let me check it out. But eventually, the weekends, during the day, this girl is on tour, and you guys coming out to support her.
Yeah.
Those are the goals. And go to a movie theater and see her. Watch Stars, watch HBO and see her. Those are the conversations, you know, and seeing her on commercials. Like, that's what's happening, because it's Instagram, you get shut, the algorithm is slow, and, you know, the phones are shaky. You like, didn't I just post? You don't see it? Like, that's too much. You know, so you got to just stay on top of your game.
Yeah. You talk about seasons that you're in. You said the word you're living by is longevity right now in this season. Yeah. You want longevity in your career.
Yeah. You say a Steve Harvey name, longevity. You say a Martin Lawrence name, longevity.
Yeah.
You say a Will Smith name, longevity. You say J-Lo name. You say all these different names. Jim Carrey, Halle Berry.
Yeah.
That's longevity. All of those people I just named probably had a season, had to go through it, and they're living in their promise right now.
Yeah.
But it's still more layers to those people, and they have longevity. You go out of the country, you're going to hear Missy Elliott name in Zimbabwe because those are her fans. You're right. So us as influencers that are turned actors and actresses want that same thing. And if you don't, then you sleeping on yourself because you could get there. Cat Williams is a household name, and he has longevity. It's so much more to him that he may have to offer.
Oh, it's so much more.
So much more, right? But it's just like, Brandy, what is that? What you laughing about?
I don't know.
Okay, well, Dave Chappelle.
I'm trying my best to just keep it
right.
I'm trying to walk the line right
walk
now.
The line.
Yeah.
Well, we gonna change it. Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, Cedric, those people that you hear.
Phenomenal people. Yeah.
And it was so crazy. I love me some Cat Williams. I do. But he has longevity.
Absolutely.
He's a longevity. He's a legend, and we love him so much. You go out in the street, you're going to know who Cat Williams is. You go out in the street, you're going to know who Issa Rae is because she's building herself to be that household name. Yeah. So why not go for that? Why not be inspired for that? You're building your household name. Yeah. Why not go for that? So I'm like, I'm in line, and I have so much work to do. Child, I got so much. The spirit of procrastination got to go. Sometimes you be in a place of your head. You got to get out of that to go forward. So we are all trying. We're all trying. We think that app is gonna last. We gotta know it's bigger than that. So yeah,
it's bigger than that.
Yeah,
your faith has just been the cornerstone of your life.
Yeah,
you are a pastor's kid. Your mother is a pastor, got her a church here in Atlanta, outside of Atlanta. You're in church every week, you said.
Mm-hmm. If I'm home, that lady gonna call and say, where you at? Sunday, come on. Yeah, she don't play.
And so you take off the PrettyVee hat when you go in there, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. You got to go to her page because I'm the announcer in the morning. So I got to.
You do the church announcement?
I do.
You're the church clerk?
I am the church clerk.
Oh, yes. I love it. You know what? When I was younger, because I grew up in the church, I always... it was Miss Fantroy, I think, at one point was the church clerk. And I used to love it because she was always dressed and she got to go down and parade in front of the church and stand at the podium to give the church announcements. And I said, anytime that they let youth do it, me and my sister Carly were the ones doing the announcements, and they wanted twins because it was like a novelty, and so we got up there and got to do a little stick, and we loved it. Church clerk.
Yes.
I love that.
Every Sunday, my mama don't play. Yeah. She's like, I don't know what you're doing, but you're not gonna be at my pulpit doing all that. So get up there and do it right. My friend would tell you she don't play about that pulpit. Yeah. God gave it to her. So she's like, you're not gonna come up here and trying to tell me you're gonna turn up and then be on my pulpit. What you doing? So it's my mom is just she's old school. Yeah. She do not play about it. She's just like, because when you work so hard to get there, you want the blessings of God to stay there. Yeah. You want the Holy Spirit to walk through there. Because sometimes it takes one person. It takes one person to come out of line and you be over there like, okay, now I'm ahead. Yeah. It's just a lot. Yeah. So my mom, and I love that my mom's so relatable. She done been there, done that. She done did her time. So she like, look, I'm a funky pastor. I'm relatable. I'm dope. Yeah. I'm hip. But I'm not going to play with my pulpit. I'm not going to play with my church. So
this is old school church for real because they still have a church clerk. I mean, most churches now, they got smoke and lights and LED screens and the church announcements come on the loop, on the video.
I'm going up there.
You're going up there announcing.
Yeah, announcing.
What did you announce last Sunday at church?
That has an event, May 12th. It's a Mother's Day event. Yeah. A Mother's Love, and she's going to be holding that on May 12th. And we talked about that. And we also talked about just different things. My sister's in the military. So, she's standing with military family and standing with Israel. And we did a lot of that. You know, my mom she's very precise. She want to make sure everything's in detail, and she's, like I said, she's old school, because that's what we got to get back to.
Yeah.
You got to get back to when there was really deliverance, not just taking out what we know that spirits is in folks, but really and truly getting to that point that you can be delivered. It don't have to be on social media for people to see. Take the cameras down and let's just pray. You know, put your phones down. Let's pray. You know, it's really talk to the youth and really talk to them about what's real and what's not. You know, and my mom is that, and her ministry is something different and what's needed in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah. You know, we going back to tonight. We going back to Shekinah Glory days. We going back to them commission days. We going back to the Fred Hammond days.
She is on my playlist.
We going back. Listen, we going back.
She on the playlist.
We going back.
Wow.
Yeah, we going back to those days. We going back to those Juanita Bynum days.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You are my peace. We going back to them stomping on their heads.
Like the dew in the morning.
Hello?
Yeah, gently rest.
Come on.
Gently rest.
Come on.
Gently rest.
So we going back there when it was shouting and screaming and letting the enemy leave your place at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, because people get too lax and knowing that it's important to speak back and combat that, because y'all get so comfortable in where y'all at, and y'all should be yelling, y'all should be screaming, y'all should be hounding down in y'all house and saying, devil, you got to go.
Yeah.
That's what you got to be doing.
Yeah.
You too lax, you too tired.
Yeah. Dominion. Yeah. Authority.
Mm-hmm. You gotta call authority over that. Yeah. And keep moving. So that's what mama. That's the church I was raised in.
Old school church. Yeah. I love that about you.
Yeah.
Because most people, and I would definitely think in your age group and younger, everything has to be on social media. All the healing, I don't know how people get they phone up and to start
kids.
Crying. Like, I said, well, wait a minute. Ain't no way. Now, it's some moments that you are on live or things happen and maybe some emotions come. Yeah. But you actually turned your camera on to show us this foolishness. Like, I tell people all the time, Instagram is not your diary. They make those for a reason.
And the thing about it is, for me, it's about the deliverance part in church. I don't want to see that, because I just always think of the energy travels, different things you see. Yeah, those kids that are just going by and they seeing this. It's like, just shut the phone off. We don't need to see that. I don't want to see that, because some people don't understand what that is, you know. And back in the day, you didn't see that. You know, you had to go to church to see that. Yeah. You know, and if somebody's church got shut down somewhere, you hear it on the radio. Yeah. You know, or in the yellow page, whatever. Yeah. I just feel like some things I'm just like old soul with. I don't really care to see that.
I see you are old soul, because you said yellow pages, and
you remember the yellow pages, y'all?
You.
That's beyond. But I had a yellow page. I was going through it.
Yeah,
to find Pizza Hut.
Yeah, you from the country, so you was kind of you probably had it.
Yeah. So I needed to see.
Here's what's so fascinating to me, because most people, you got these millions and millions of followers, and so most people, they see how you are and they think that you are constantly connected to the device. Yeah, and you're like, no, I got a whole other part. Y'all don't really get the other part of me. Yeah. Y'all see what I give you. Yeah. But this other part I keep for myself. I want you to speak to that, because I know you speak to young girls with your Pretty Victory Foundation and the things that you're doing, and speaking to girls about self-esteem and mental health. Yeah. I want you to give them some perspective of why they have to come off the phone at some point.
I mean, coming off the phone is it's a peace thing, you know, for me at least. It's a balance thing. It is taking back yourself, because we'll get so hounded into social media, what's current, what's out, and we lose sight of what today is. You'll be on your phone all day. It's 5 o'clock. You're not present at all. Yeah. And that's the birthday that I just celebrated last year in October, was be present in your blessing, because we forget that it's Monday and that it's a day to get yourself together, get rejuvenated, and then you in the bed still scrolling. Yeah. You know, and it plays with your mind, because you're seeing things. You wake up in the morning, that's all your first thing you grab. I was that person. Some days I do tend to do that. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me go give God, some attention to God. Let me go read my devotion. Let me go read my word. Let me go speak. Let me go play my gospel. And let me go do that, because I know once something hits me and I scroll and I see something, the whole day changes, you know? So for anybody out there that is that person to grab phones and just always on your phone, take a second, take a beat, get yourself together first. Get in alignment with yourself. Get in alignment with God in the morning if you are a believer. Do that because it is so important, because you'll go off and you see something's happening with somebody died and somebody this and your whole day gets ruined. So it's so important to take your day and get settled, meditate, get yourself together and really, really sit still in your moment before you start scrolling, because it's not healthy and you'll get so consumed in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You said you're looking for a boss, a leader, but somebody who can pray for you and lay hands on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're going to have to if you're waking up doing this in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to have to.
Yeah.
They're going to have to. I don't want, what I want. This is what I don't want. I don't want you rolling over, all of that, sliding over, and only post you think, first thing you get is your phone, second thing you get some liquor, the third, I don't want that. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want the itching, the scratching, rolling up. I don't want all that.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. If you got to do it, you got to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't want the jury. You gotta lay with the jury. No, take it off. Get into that. Thugs love God too. Now, they love God.
Yeah.
But I want someone that's really gonna be in that space. Be that, but also know you gonna have to put God first in everything. This world it don't last. I don't want a limited God. I want a limitless God. And I don't want that. I don't want nobody, no man around me that's gonna be limited, and you got to get ugly for him, because anxiety is real. The stress of the world, I won't say anxiety because I don't even like the word anxiety. The stress of the world will cause you to get into a place of not knowing who God is. You'll go so much away from him because you're so stressed out and you don't think that he could pull you out of it because you don't see things. I could see you. You could help me. You could give me money. You could da-da-da. But when you got to pray to him, you like, where's it going to come from? But don't know that phone could ring in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's a whole miracle.
Yeah.
I need someone that's going to believe into that.
Yeah.
Not about what the industry or what your job could do. Because when you fall short, who do you go to?
Yeah.
I need that believer. I need that person that's going to stand 10 toes down. You could have all the jewelry in the world. You could have the Rolexes. You could, whatever you got to do. But no, that has to be the first person you talk to in the morning.
Yeah.
Don't even talk to me.
Yeah.
Just say something to him. I hear it. All right, he doing what you got to do.
Yeah.
But that has to be a thing.
Yeah.
It can't just be one thing to impress me. You got to, whatever. I want to know, well, what we want to eat, bro. We want to go to American Deli to get some win. What are you talking about? What are you saying?
Yeah.
No, we going to pray, and then we going to get a smoothie. And then we going to eat. then we going to get a salad. And then you got to go get some wings. You do it without me because I don't eat that. So yeah.
You say you don't want what the world wants. You want what God wants you to have.
Yep, come on.
Yeah.
I'm going to just say, come on, Brand. That's the nickname for me. Now
What's going on with this bracelet over here? It's giving you some trouble.
I know. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I said. That's what I want. I don't want what the world has.
Yeah.
I want what God has. Because what God has lasts.
Yeah.
You've been in the industry. People come and go.
Yeah.
Actors, actresses, comedians.
Seen so many people.
Bath and Body Works got shut down. I don't want what the world wants. I want what God wants.
Yeah, what God wants.
I don't want that.
Okay, so what is God wanting you to have in this season?
What God wants me to have in this season.
Because you're wanting what God wants for you.
Yeah. Step out. Step out. You guys see me do all that on Instagram and be here, be there, award shows, hosting this, hosting that, in this movie, in this show. But for all things PrettyVee, now he wants me to accelerate on the gift and to step out. And that's what I'm doing. I have so many great surprises happening, and it's all him. Because I would have been like, I'm going to wait till next year. But he's like, no, in this season, I need you to step out. Yeah. Because it's time. Because once you step out, the things that you've been asking me for is going to be in alignment. That's why I said in the beginning, he's a detail God.
Yeah.
If I'm like, I want to start a podcast, he been wanting me to start that podcast. You've been having the idea in your mind. Why don't you do it? And the same person that you've been wanting to come on your show will be that, and whoever you want to meet, but he will bring it in alignment with your gift.
Yeah.
You don't see the people that you want to work with or the opportunities because you're not doing what I told you to do.
Yeah.
God you will meet your person halfway. You just don't know.
Yeah.
So I ain't never meet Steve Harvey, but I meet his daughter. That's what it is. If I would have gave up last 2-3 years, I would have never met you.
Yeah.
I didn't meet your daddy by meeting his child.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I didn't meet so and so, but I didn't meet Mariah Carey, but I met Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
You know, something.
Yeah.
So I think
The
connection, you know, so you have to start something so what you're asking for could come in alignment with what your gift is.
Yeah.
So in this season, he wants me to step out.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I'm doing.
What do you feel like you've been hiding?
I think that's a good question. I love that, Brand. I think what I've been hiding. I don't think I've been hiding it. I think I've been scared to do it, and that is my one woman show. You know. And I said,
I've heard you talk about it. Quite a few,
and I just,
interviews.
you know, I haven't seen it. So I think in this season, he's like, here's the date, here's the show name, and what you gonna do with it? And I found the date, we got the vibe, and we gonna do it. You know, so yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think you've been scared?
Fear about, are people gonna show? Fear about, are they gonna understand what I'm doing? Those moments, I think it was just about people just showing up. And I've said, I was like, I want people to show up for me. And I want to see if my fans are Chinese, are they white, are they this? Like, I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Because it's always been in a crowd of people that's already coming to see me or B. Simone or Desi or TC Young. It's always been,
because
it's
you're on a group tour.
Yeah, I'm on a group tour.
Like Wildin' Out.
Yeah, you know, I'm on the B Tour where it's hosting, and y'all gonna come see me and Terrence J. But who are my fans?
Yeah.
And in this season, I want to see them. I want to see their faces. I want to see who's in the crowd. I want to know who really rides for me and what I come with. So it's no group thing. It's Vina thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been pushed out of your comfort zone. What surprised you most about yourself?
You said I've been pushed out of, say it again?
Your comfort zone. What has surprised you most about yourself?
What surprised me most about myself? That would be, and I don't know if this is something, but two things. One, that I can do it. You know, that I can do it. You know, there's no one's not gonna, yes, God wakes you up in the morning, but you could stay in that bed though, you know, or you could sit there or you could move. All I gotta do is pray and things will be okay, you know? And I've been a prayer warrior. I've been someone that's gonna pray, but when you really pray, but in detail, things come, blessings come, miracles come. But to know that I can do it and I don't need to crutch on anyone else's body or be like, I'm gonna work here because you can do it. You could stand alone. You could do it alone.
Yeah.
You could figure it out alone.
Yeah.
You can do it,
Yeah.
you know. And when you pray and you do it not with your mama, but by yourself, miracles and blessings start coming. And the signs, my discernment, making sure that discernment is always on point so I can know what to take and what not to take. So when I know that, I can do it.
Yeah.
When I know that I can stand alone, let's go get it. So those are the things I would say. Yeah.
What's stretching you most in this season?
My gift is stretching me more. And I think using my gift not just in one place.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I'm talking to people in detention centers in New York. I'm going to Seattle and talking to girls that thinking about killing themselves. I'm talking to students at Clark Atlanta and all over the place in Atlanta about self-esteem and mental health. And I'm traveling with a group of people that are in different comedic in spaces and comedically, but other things. And I'm like, this is not even nothing that I signed up for. I'm just getting placed here.
Yeah.
You know, so your gift will make room for you.
Yeah.
And every other building I've walked through is different things that I'm like attached to. And I think my gift is stretching. You know, I'm not just like you said, you see me more than just a comedian. You see me as an
Yeah,
actress.
yeah.
So it's like I'm in those rooms as well. So I'm like,
Yeah.
my gift is being stretched
Yeah.
in this season.
Your
Yeah.
gift is being stretched. One word as we close out this interview
Yeah.
that you're committed to in this season. One word you're committed to in this season.
One word. That's 2 words. Faith.
Faith. Why?
Faith because in order for me to have my faith, in order to that to be activated, that has to move for things to be moved.
Yeah.
Nothing can move without my faith. I can't see nothing in my mind if I don't have my faith.
Yeah.
My faith has to be activated in every room.
Yeah.
I'm in this room. The faith is being activated. My faith has to move. When I get up, today gonna be a great day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see it. A call will come.
Yeah.
A miracle gonna happen.
Yeah.
Faith.
Yeah.
You know, so faith is one of my biggest things in this season. The word faith.
The word faith.
The word faith has to be. I can't let it go. I was that kid playing with Barbie dolls, doing a whole stage in my room, and it was just me, just talking to a whole crowd, writing in my diary, seeing a crowd, picturing myself, getting an award, coming out, seeing my husband, what's up, y'all, what's up, baby, getting my award, you know, and like I see it. But in order for me to see it and be really present in those manifestations, those visions, my faith gotta happen. It gotta be activated.
Yeah.
So I gotta push through. So I've been doing that, and I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah.
I'm so proud because, again, I have a mother that ain't gonna let me slack.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna make me crawl. That ain't.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gonna stand up.
Yeah.
You gonna maneuver in this industry. You're more than what you think you are. You're not just a comedian. You're reeling people into the kingdom as well.
Yeah.
You're reeling people in,
Yeah.
you know, and if I could make one person happy with my skits, I've done a great job.
Yeah.
When I see the DMs, you have taken me from depression because I was once there.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep for maybe a whole month. You know, my mom said, not today, devil. Open up that door and pray that out. What's going on? But I knew what it was. I graduated from college. I know I wanted to do radio, so I was applying to all these radio jobs, interning so many places, but not getting a job. So now you in a place, back to your mama's house, sitting in her room, sitting all over the house, and you're like, what do I do? But then again, the faith had to remember what she said.
Yeah.
God said, and he's not a lying God. He's not a lying God. He is honest God, and he's going to make way and make provision for you to get what you need. So from that, I know faith. And not faith because I know what my mama say, but faith to know that God is real.
Yeah.
And if he's taking me out of that, he'll do it again, he'll do it again, he'll do it again.
Yeah.
So not having faith in a fixture, but knowing that I can't see you, but I'm still gonna say your name, and I'm still gonna believe that you are working in the midnight hour, throughout the day, traveling, always, that you're there, because I know that you're real. My brother, when the doctor told my brother that he was going to that he wasn't gonna make it. He was 16, 17 years old. And he said the doctor said to my mom, your son has 72 hours to live. And mom said, okay, it was gonna take me 72 hours to pray and activate my faith. And my mom said the Spirit of the Lord told her, get up from there because he's not on to death. I have a nephew, I have a brother. My brother's 38 years old. So that's what faith looks like. When you're able to call on God, you're able to call on Jesus and say, God, I need you to intervene. I need you to interrupt what the doctor said, and you bring yourself and you say, hey, that God is real. That's what makes me keep going. That's what keeps me going, to know that my mom's faith is that, and my faith could be that too, but I have to believe. So the word is faith, and I'm going to always have that. Even when I don't see it, I'm going to have faith. Even when I don't get the job, I'm going to have faith. Even when I get my nose that yes, it's coming. And I stand by that.
Man, 10 toes down.
10 toes down.
You stand on business on that, V.
Period.
Listen,
Let's talk about that.
You can stand on business on that one. That's the one that'll take you to the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Faith.
For sure.
And they don't know what that is. That's why it's always, I ain't get it. No, where's your faith at? My homeboy told me, you still got your faith. I said, I can't let that go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that means I'm letting God go, and I ain't going to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The devil is a liar.
Yeah.
Did you catch that?
You know what? Because I have you here, you speak to these girls, you're speaking in detention centers, you're in Seattle, you're in New York, you're in all around, you're going around Atlanta. I want you to speak to these girls out here. Give them a word. Leave them with a word as you close out.
The word that I would give to anybody right now that is watching, young girls, male, female, teens, whatever it may be, whomever it may be, one word I will give to you, it would be consistency. Why? Because in order for you to see what you want to be and what you want to do, you got to stay consistent at it. You got to believe in it. You got to have faith behind it. But consistency, everybody comes to me and say, V, how do I get here? What do I do? I always say you have to be consistent on your craft. And the other thing, don't let your gift die. Whatever's in you, don't let it die. Because let me tell you, your friend beside you gonna get whatever gift that you want and run with it while you stuck sitting on something that God gave you first. So don't let your gift die, and be consistent at it too.
Be consistent. Don't let your gift die.
Yep.
It's the cheat code.
Yep.
I think you gave it to him today.
Yep.
Thank
Free
you,
game.
Yeah, free game.
Yep.
That was $1 million worth of it.
Come on, come
Yeah,
on. I
thank
would
you
take
so
my
much.
foot off and just knock it.
I thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
man.
sharing this part of yourself and your life and your journey that most people don't get to see.
Yes.
They don't get to see this side of you. So I'm excited for all that God has for you.
Oh, thank you so
and all
much.
that you're about to do in this world.
Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much.
sharing your time with me. It's
Thank
been another
you.
good one, Vault Empowers Talks. I'm your host, Brandy Harvey. Before you leave here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and be sure to share this with somebody else. There's a young girl who needs a little consistency and a little more faith in her life. Until next time, eat well, give a damn, move your body every single day. Peace.